morning. 안녕하세요. Welcome to Unite Seoul. Each one of the games you just saw was made right here in Korea. And looking at them, it's clear that Korea's famous Pali spirit isn't just about speed. It's the heartbeat of your innovation. You refuse to let the mobile screen mean compromised ambition. And instead, you're building living, breathing digital communities at a pace and a scale that leaves the rest of the world in awe. But remember, each one of these amazing accomplishments began in the same simple, quiet way, with a single person who had an idea and the determination to build it and the ambition to find an audience. That's why we build the Unity platform, to provide the power to take your ideas as far as they can go. That was the mission 20 years ago at our founding, and it remains our mission to this day. Now, I know this is not the easiest moment in our industry or in the world at large. The changes we're all experiencing are causing real pain and more than a little anxiety about the future. At Unity, our team is focused on helping you take control, putting the technology in your hands to embrace the future rather than fear it. Because despite the challenges we're facing, there has never been a more exciting time to make games. I'm convinced that in time, we'll look back at these days and realize that this was the time that independent thinkers combined with like-minded collaborators to create games that were deeper and more engaging and more beautiful than ever before. The tools are going to enable us to dream at a scale we've never dared to dream, to multiply our impact in ways that we'd never considered possible, to find audiences we never knew existed. The future belongs not to the biggest team anymore, but to those who are able to take control of their destiny by making the technology work for them, to harness it to their inspiration and the spirit of their players, and emerge with something the world has never seen before, and then the ability to find players who will embrace that vision. At Unity, we're obsessed with helping support creators in this unique moment in time. From the first spark of an idea all the way through to the launch of a global hit. From prototyping to live service, from acquiring players to generating that first purchase. We want Unity to be your partner at every step. And we want to make every step easier and more sustainable for you. Now, many of you came here expecting to hear about the next update to Unity 6. But we felt that a new point release just wouldn't be enough for this moment that we're in. This moment demands a leap forward, a fundamental advance in Unity's capabilities and how our software works at a fundamental level. Game creation has evolved, with diverse teams of creators and coding agents now working side by side across every part of the craft. And we need to evolve with it. So instead of a new point release, I'm here today to share something else. And that thing is Unity 7. While traditional development tethered you inside the Unity editor, Unity 7 sets your team free. It's designed as an open, collaborative platform where developers, artists, producers, and coding agents will work together across the full life cycle of game creation, viewing and editing assets, code, scenes, and gameplay together in real time. So you can progress from an idea to a playable game faster than ever before. Unity 7 accelerates every part of the development process. A modernized core, built on CoreCLR, speeds up every part of the Unity experience. A near instant play mode lets you test ideas much faster than ever before. And dynamic reloads mean When you change your code, we reload only what's changed. Our MCP is now free as a part of Unity 7. And we're introducing new tools like a command line interface and, of course, our API. That means that the external coding agents you're already used to using today will work now seamlessly inside Unity 7. And of course, our own context-aware agent is there to help, built directly into Unity itself. And Unity 7 will extend beyond creation to helping you build a sustainable business. You'll be able to deploy to more platforms than ever before, so the game you've already made can reach players you couldn't reach before. It provides new paths to revenue, direct-to-consumer commerce built right into the engine, no-code web shops, one unified catalog. That means you own the relationship with your players, and you keep more of the money. And when you're ready to go, when you're ready to grow, Unity Vector, our AI growth engine, goes to work for you. Billions of people play games every month built on Unity, and because Vector learns from that gameplay data, it can match you with the players who will love your game at a cost that will work for your game. Most importantly, we understand how much you've all invested in Unity and all your existing work. And that's why everything you've built in Unity 6 can move to Unity 7. No breaking changes, no new language to learn, none of the traditional upgrade problems. Unity 7 is a direct continuation of Unity 6. The Unity 7 preview launches in December, full release in the first quarter of next year. And some features are coming even sooner in beta. Unity 7 is the biggest leap we've ever taken as a company. And the part I'm most excited about isn't what we've built, it's what you're going to build with it. Now, to show you what Unity 7 can do, I'd like to introduce you to Adam Smith.
So there it is, Unity 7. Hello, everybody. I'm Adam Smith, Senior Vice President of the Unity Engine product. We're going to spend the next hour showing you exactly what Unity 7 is all about. But before we go deep on technology, let's begin where Matt started, with the games. Because every feature that you'll see today exists for one reason, so that an idea can become a game, and a game can become something much bigger. And there's no better proof of that than a team right here in Korea whose one idea became a global hit and then became something bigger than any of us could have ever imagined. Please welcome Jae-ho Wong, CEO of MINTROCKET.
안녕하세요. 저는 한글로 할 겁니다.
Hello everyone, I'll be speaking in Korean. I'm Jae-ho Wang, CEO and Director of MINTROCKET. I'm also the Director of Dave the Diver. As a Unity developer myself, it is a real honor to stand before so many of you. Dave the Diver, developed with Unity, has grown beyond Korea to become a globally beloved IP. It has appeared in other games and expanded into comics and collectible figures. We've also released DLC in collaboration with a number of major IPs, including Godzilla and Like a Dragon. Recently, we launched our expansion in the jungle with more than 10 hours of new gameplay. In the Jungle takes players beyond the ocean to explore jungle lakes and introduces real-time gameplay, making a bold departure from a conventional DLC. That ambition was recognized by critics, earning an OpenCritic score of 92 and a Metacritic score of 86. In fact, it's currently the highest-rated game released this year on OpenCritic. Earlier this year, Dave the Diver was also ported to mobile and launched in China. Following its release, the game sold over 1 million copies in China alone, reaching an entirely new market on a new platform. Even today, the team is only about 30 people. So how have we been able to accomplish so much and continue delivering so much content? Behind that success is Unity. From Steam to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile, our team of just 30 has been able to support every platform with flexibility thanks to the versatility of the Unity engine. In practice, a single C# code through IL2 CPP was compiled into native code for each platform. A single shader is automatically converted for each platform's graphics environment, and our addressables-based unified pipeline allowed us to build for 5 platforms simultaneously. That meant we spent less time on porting and more time on making it more fun. At MINTROCKET, we're continuing to push ourselves to create entirely new experiences and bring them to even more players. If the technical barriers to taking bold risks and expanding to new platforms had been much higher, we might have been far less ambitious. To help developers turn their ideas into reality more easily and quickly, everyone at Unity is working very hard. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the entire Unity team, and I hope Unity will continue to stay a trusted partner for developers. With that, have fun at Unite starting today, and hope you leave inspired with plenty of new ideas. Thank you.
We're going to start with something that probably impacts your day-to-day work more than anything else. Let's talk about iteration speed. Nothing slows momentum like waiting for a script to recompile. So our next major step to improve your iteration speed is adopting CoreCLR, coming in Unity 7 next year. We're focused on providing full access to the modern .NET ecosystem, including CoreCLR, .NET 10, and C#14. This is a foundational change for Unity. It will give you new language features to write more expressive, highly performant code. You'll get first-class integration using modern IDEs and official .NET debuggers. And with MS Build for your projects, we're taking a major step toward being able to compile code outside the editor, which will also bring you faster agentic workflows. This shift to a more modern standard isn't just about better tools. It's going to give you a smarter engine. CoreCLR introduces a new code reload model. So instead of reloading the entire domain, Unity will reload only what's necessary with each change. Cumulatively, that's going to save you a lot of time. We're also bringing changes that will speed up your workflows right now, like Fast Enter Play Mode, which is going to be the default for new projects in Unity 6.6 and later. This setting will make it significantly faster to enter play mode, especially after small changes that used to trigger the full domain reload. And that brings a huge boost to how quickly you can iterate. And we're testing and verifying these changes in projects before bringing them to your engine. We're working with games right here in Korea, like Lord 9 Infinite Class from Smilegate. This local studio is entering play mode 2.7 times faster. We've used internal samples like Boat Attack to ensure compatibility, and we're seeing loads into play mode that are 4 times faster. And Deep Rock Galactic Survivor by Funday Games and Ghost Ship Publishing, one of the most popular titles on the market today, enters play mode 4.7 times faster with Fast Enter Play Mode enabled. Now, what does that mean for what you're already working on? How will this impact your existing code, as well as your assets and packages? Well, we want to make sure that your projects are compatible on day one. So we've already tested the 68 most popular asset store packages to ensure their compatibility, and we're adding more every day. We're giving you tools to prepare now so you can have total confidence in this switch when Unity 7 lands. We're tracking the evidence we collect on packages and project compatibility, and we've created an upgrade guide to help make your CoreCLR migrations as smooth as possible. We've also integrated Project Auditor into Unity 6. You can use it today to analyze your project and identify compatibility issues before upgrading to CoreCLR. We encourage you to test your code and provide feedback. We're looking for early adopters to help shape the future of .NET and Unity. You can contact us and submit feedback through discussions or report issues using our bug tracker. The .NET modernization coming in Unity 7 next year is aimed squarely at iteration speed. Faster compiles and code reloads so you spend less time waiting and more time creating. And up next, you can get a look at the latest tools we're working on for incredible graphics of all kinds.
We're in an incredible place to talk about Unity graphics because some of the most visually striking games are being built right here in Korea. Take Ember and Blade, the captivating roguelike from Line Games, due later this year. With the power of Unity 6, the team pushed large, epic battles with rich visuals, stylized using custom cell shading using shader graph. They hit higher particle counts with VFX graph and cut runtime memory by more than 75% using addressables and Unity's profiling tools. That's what's possible when tools get out of the way, and it's exactly the kind of work we set to unlock for you. Jubak Kim from Line Games is here with us today to give us a peek behind the scenes.
Good morning. I'm Director of Ember and Blade from Line Games, Jubak Kim. With Unity 6, we set out to achieve ambitious goals: massive, epic battles, rich, full-screen visuals, and a distinctive look with the custom cell shader. Using adaptive probe volumes and shader graph, the same environment naturally transitions from daytime to sunset and into night. The lighting, fog, and sky all change together as one. One thing our artists especially loved was that the dynamic objects are also influenced by global illumination naturally. This eliminates the need for building light map UVs, which has dramatically accelerated environment art iteration. The key to taking our particle count to a whole new level was VFX graph. Take our signature area of effect stuck on you as an example. The original was built with Unity's particle system that already looked great, but moving it to VFX graph took it to another level. With both simulation and rendering running entirely on the GPU, we could drive far more particles simultaneously and even create effects that weren't possible before, like these blooming roses. Above all, we were able to scale everything up while dramatically reducing our rendering batch. Previously, our batch count easily exceeded 4,000 and kept climbing. So we reworked how projectiles and trash mobs were instanced. By combining VFX graph with vertex animation textures, we were able to spawn 400 monsters simultaneously while reducing the batch count by more than 90%. Yes, more than 90%. This was all possible because the tools got out of the way. The tools supported us every step of the way, allowing us to focus on building the game we truly wanted to make. Thank you.
That was incredible. Thanks, Jubak. We're placing a big bet on graphics in the Unity 7 experience as we move towards a single renderer built for 3D, 2D, 2.5D, and whatever you're creating next. Earlier this year, we announced that we're supercharging the universal render pipeline to give you what you asked for in a single authoring experience. Breathtaking visuals with fast iteration times deployed across the widest range of devices possible. We're excited to share our first look at Surface Cache GI, a major step towards robust, fully dynamic global illumination in Unity. Surface Cache GI delivers real-time, indirect diffuse lighting. Let's see it in action. This is the mecha repair hangar scene from Sakura Rabbit. Lighting plays a crucial role in how this environment feels. In the past, reaching this level of quality meant hours of authoring and pre-computing light maps and probes. Surface Cache computes GI in real time with indirect lighting updating instantly. That means no more tedious authoring or waiting on bakes. What's also unique about the system is the support for dynamic geometry. We'll move the cart closer to us, add some objects, and turn on the lights. You can see all of that lighting responding naturally, and it's beautiful. Procedural worlds, user-generated content, runtime construction, or deconstruction are all also fully supported. It's also built for dynamic scenarios like time of day. Watch how light bouncing into the hangar shifts with the direction of the sun as we go through a full 24-hour cycle. And we know performance matters, so we've made sure this runs incredibly fast, even on really complex scenes with dense geometry. This can be combined with other lighting features in alpha, like screen space reflections, to achieve a richer look and feel on surfaces. And we're also using features like GPU resident drawer to take full advantage of our GPU hardware. You can also use it with our new ground truth ambient occlusion to make scenes look more realistic by adding subtle ambient shadowing where objects and surfaces are close together. And because it's built on URP, Surface Cache works well across a broad range of devices, from high-end PCs using hardware-accelerated ray tracing to mobile phones with compute shader support. We can run the same scene on a Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra device at full resolution, holding a smooth, steady 60 frames per second with uncompromised visual fidelity. This is what we're building towards. Beautiful lighting that just works with faster iteration and support for far more dynamic content. Surface Cache GI, screen space reflections, and ground truth ambient occlusion are all ready to preview in 6.7 alpha today and will become broadly available with Unity 6.7 LTS. And beyond lighting, we're also modernizing Unity's shader pipeline, bringing support for Microsoft's DirectX shader compiler. In Unity 6.6, a new setting lets you compile your project's shaders with DXC for DX12. This opens up the latest HLSL and Shader Model 6 features, such as wave intrinsics and native 16-bit format, with support for mesh shaders and linear algebra APIs on the way. In future releases, we'll also extend DXC support for additional platforms. We also heard your feedback that you wanted faster shader compile times, so we're giving you more control with the latest shader build settings, letting you configure your project's shaders on a per-platform basis. You'll have new options and presets, giving you more control over shader performance and compile times. With automatic conversion of static variants to dynamic branches, keyword exclusion, and other build options, you can drastically reduce shader build times. And if you want something simple and straightforward, you'll have access to a new fast build profile in Unity 6.7 that cuts shader build times by up to 90%. And for a smoother runtime experience, we've also added PSO tracing and warm-up to minimize stutters across all platforms. And speaking of platforms, the web has been a strong focus for us through Web GPU. With full URP compatibility, it now supports modern features like compute shaders and indirect rendering, allowing you to unlock the full power of our tools like VFX Graph to create millions of particles with fast performance across all major desktop browsers. Web GPU is production ready in Unity 6.6. And on mobile, we're continuing to push performance even harder. We're extending on-tile post-processing more broadly through Metal and Vulkan, allowing you to use effects like HDR, tone mapping, and color grading directly on tile in a single pass, cutting memory bandwidth significantly. We're also introducing a new tile-only mode that keeps everything reliably on tile so you get a better performance, lower power draw, and predictable frame rates. Wherever your players are, console, mobile, or the web, Unity delivers scalable quality and performance, allowing you to focus on what matters most. We're bringing graphics improvements not just for all devices, but for all artistic styles too. So now Russ is coming up to show you what we're working on to help power incredible games in 2D.
We continue to be inspired by games like The Eternal Life of Goldman from Weepy Studios, the action-packed Constants from the talented Blue Backpack team, and Korean titles like The Ashen Oz by Ashbone Games, the stylish Solitaria from our friends at Studio Doodle, and kunai platformer Inari, coming soon from 1HP. In our last LTS release, we reshaped 2D with new workflows to render 3D as 2D. So now it's much easier to bring 2D and 3D elements into one scene, sharing the same 2D lights, masks, and shaders in a single unified world. Alongside that, we added the highly performant, multi-threaded Physics Core 2D, powered by the latest Box 2D version 3. It performs so well, in fact, that we needed to add a faster way to render sprites. And so we've introduced the new Render Sprite API. And the best way to see these tools in action is in Bunny Blitz, our newest 2D sample game. Now, this scene of Bunny Blitz was built with the Physics Core 2D and the new Render Sprite APIs. They enable high-performance rendering of thousands of sprites without game object overhead, while maintaining full compatibility with 2D lights, sprite masks, and the SRP batcher. In fact, even on older mobile devices, the game holds a stable 60 frames per second. So to track all these performance improvements, we added a new 2D profiler to monitor sprite render counts and more details on how your sprite atlases are being used. Bunny Blitz is available now on the Asset Store. Download it today to play with these new features yourself. We've covered a lot of ground, but we're not stopping here. Let's get Charles back out to tell you how we're embracing advances in neural inference and the leap forward it can bring for your games.
Today, we're excited to announce Unity Neural, a class of new technologies and features designed to accelerate the entire Unity compute pipeline through neural inference. To make this work, we've made key changes across URP, so these neural techniques integrate into the pipeline you already use without disrupting how you build today. There's a lot here, so let's start with neural upscaling. We're upgrading our upscaler framework and working with hardware partners to bring their neural upscalers into Unity. You can get much sharper detail and fewer artifacts compared to some other commonly used upscalers. We're also hard at work on neural texture compression, or NTC. NTC uses a trained model to compress your textures far beyond what traditional formats can manage, at near lossless quality. This cuts your runtime memory and shrinks download sizes. Here's the mecha repair hangar scene again, with and without NTC. Even with texture runtime memory down by over 50%, the two look nearly identical. And we're also saving about 70% on disk. That's really cool. We can also use NTC in really creative ways. For example, with deferred rendering, NTC allows us to use a lower resolution G buffer, then upscale it again to gain even more performance. Looking ahead, we're working on ways to integrate NTC meaningfully across our pipeline, with a sample to follow later this year. Most importantly, Unity Neural runs on the devices your players already own. The same model that your team trains locally in the editor on your data and nothing else runs on their phones, consoles, and PCs through an upgraded CENTIS, Unity's inference engine with 0 server round trips. Unity Neural will be rolling on stages beginning Unity 6.7, and we'll have even more to share with you soon in Unity 7.
CoreCLR, Surface Cache GI, Unity Neural. Everything that you've just seen is about one thing: faster iteration. Greater speed than ever before. Less time waiting, more time creating. That's the engine's job. But an engine is only as strong as its platform support. So much of the exciting work happening right now is happening at the crossroads of your creativity with Unity and new devices, new platforms, and the AI tools used by your team. With that in mind, we've invited a partner who's building at exactly that intersection with us. From Meta, everyone please welcome Jamie Keane.
The real power of Unity has always been reach. And as more XR platforms, devices, and input models come online, our goal is to continue making it easy for you to bring your ideas to players, wherever they are. Now, if you've never built for VR before, it can feel new, somewhat unfamiliar. You're learning new devices, new input systems, comfort and performance requirements, testing workflows, and all those specific platform details that come with creating an immersive experience. That's where AI can become incredibly valuable. Not to replace your work as a creator, but as a companion that helps you reduce friction, shorten the learning curve, so you focus on the experience that you want to bring to life. Together, Meta and Unity are working to make Quest development more guided and faster to get started. And what's exciting is that these workflows are going to meet you where you are, whether you're in the Unity editor, your favorite code editor, or even an AI native flow. By connecting Unity's development environment with Meta's Quest platform tools, AI can help with many of the tasks that typically slow teams down when they're building for VR. So think about things like project setup and maintenance, platform configuration, input systems, automated testing, even performance optimization. With Meta's tools connected to the Unity workflow, you move quickly from intent, I want to support hands, I want to make that object grabbable, to action, something you can test, tune, and iterate on. Now, performance is another area where this is especially important, because on VR devices, performance is not just a technical benchmark. It directly affects comfort, presence, and the quality of the player experience. So AI-assisted workflows can help you by capturing performance traces, identifying potential issues, recommending improvements, and generally supporting you as you optimize your experience in Unity. Let's go ahead and look at a few examples. First, start a new Quest project, or bring an existing Unity project into VR with AI-assisted guidance for your setup and configuration. You can then add VR-specific capabilities like hands input, 6-degree of freedom controller support more quickly. Move through performance optimization in a more guided way, capturing a trace, identifying issues, and actually applying improvements. Use scene understanding and automated interaction to help validate the experience. So the workflow supports not just generating changes, but checking they actually work. This is the direction we're excited about. AI that's going to help you build confidently for VR while keeping your creative vision at the center, grounded in workflows in Unity that you already know. Meta and Unity are continuing to work together to make Quest development more efficient, easier to iterate on, from first setup to input to performance to validation. Check out Meta's Quest Agentic Tools resources to start building with Meta VR CLI, Meta XR Operator, and our Unity-connected AI workflows for Quest. Thank you.
Well, I'm certainly a fan of anything that makes it easier to launch games on more platforms and devices. Thanks so much for sharing these tools with us, Jamie. Now, platform reach has always been a huge priority for us. Unity helps you bring your game to millions of players on over 25 platforms, so that you have the tools, the tech, and the resources to reach your players wherever they are. Now, last month we announced support for XREAL Aura, the newest addition to Google's Android XR ecosystem, and Unity's first ever support for wired XR glasses. This lets you bring new or existing projects to lighter devices that blend augmented reality, gaming, immersive entertainment, and everyday wear. Building for XREAL Aura uses the same Android XR workflows that you already know, making it easy to extend your existing content to other supported Android XR devices. Plus, the entire Android XR platform is built on open standards, so porting is straightforward if you've already built for other XR platforms. And you can create a single build runtime that works on multiple XR devices. Leading studios are already targeting this new platform, like Resolution Games, known for their hit title, Demio. Resolution Games was one of the earliest studios to bring their game to Samsung's Galaxy XR, the first device in the Android XR ecosystem. And then the team ported to XREAL Aura with only minor adjustments. Now, like many new XR devices, XREAL Aura uses hand tracking instead of controllers. And we're making sure that you have the tools to take full advantage of this. Now, recent updates to XR Hands lets you transition from controller-based to hand-based tracking interactions. And there's a lot happening here. A new form factor, a new mode of interacting, and a groundbreaking new XR device. But Unity is giving you a simplified way to deploy there. Now, I want to shift gears for a bit to talk about a really different way that you can take your games to more places. And in case you missed it, and if you're working in games, I'm pretty sure that you all saw this very surprising announcement. At Unite Barcelona in November, we announced a partnership with Epic Games to bring Unity games to Fortnite, one of the world's largest gaming ecosystems, with more than 500 million registered accounts worldwide, so that Unity developers can participate in the Fortnite creator economy. Now, since then, our team has been building, and today, we want to show you where we are. This is Fantasy Kingdom. We hit play in Unity, and you will see for the first time a Unity game rendering natively inside Unreal Engine. Now, this is not live in Fortnite yet, but it shows what's possible for a shared foundation. What you're seeing here is a game simulated in Unity, rendered with Unreal. Now, that's not video streamed, there's no smoke and mirrors, this is all real time. But it's not just rendering. Watch the avatar. That's an Unreal character running through a Unity world. That's physics, lighting, input, all of it synchronized between engines. The underlying client-server protocol is called polyspatial. And because of how it works, multiplayer is a first-class extension. And Fantasy Kingdom is just one example. Our team has been building across genres, competitive, casual, social, narrative, all to show the breadth of what is possible. And all of it runs in Unreal today. Now, early access will start in 2027, and you can find out more information and our interest form in the YouTube description. So tell us about what you're building, and we'll be in touch. Thank you so much, Unite Seoul.
Hello again. A Unity game running right inside Unreal. I've been in this industry a long time, and while we announced this great partnership with Epic last year, I can tell you that it is truly amazing to see this coming to life today. So, let's take a quick recap. A faster engine, better graphics on more devices, your games reaching more players on more platforms than ever before, including some that you never expected. But here's what we hear from developers everywhere. From two-person teams here in Seoul to the largest studios around the world. Building the game, that's only half the battle. Finding your players and turning what you love into something that lasts, that's the other half. That's exactly what this next chapter is all about. So, everyone, please welcome Sean Shang.
안녕하세요. Ever since its launch in 2025, Vector has become the core AI for the Unity. It supports the world's largest ecosystem to expand its player base and optimize monetization. Over 70% of the top 1,000 mobile games are built on the Unity engine. So, Unity Vector has a unique vantage point. It understands game world context, player behavior, and advertising intent, so it can match the right game with the right players. Unity Vector is designed to continuously evolve and improve. While we are still in the early stage, it's already delivering results. The scale of spend has more than doubled year over year. And we are helping developers acquire the right players. Homa, Playrix, and other leading studios are seeing how Unity Vector is helping them scale, especially with the new campaign types that launched this year. Here at Unite Seoul, we are excited to dive deeper into a local success story with ActionFit, a top Korean hybrid casual game publisher. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Yinhu Park, CEO of ActionFit, to talk about how the team achieved incredible global scale with Unity Vector.
Good morning. I'm CEO of ActionFit, a mobile game company. My name is Inu Park. ActionFit is a casual game developer and publisher founded 6 years ago. Since then, we've launched a diverse portfolio of games globally. And today, we've surpassed 40 million cumulative downloads and generated over 100 billion won in global lifetime revenue. Unity Ads has been one of our most important marketing partners since day one. Starting with our first strategic casual title, a match 3 game, Unity Ads has managed a significant share of our marketing budget and played a key role in acquiring high-quality users. That partnership has continued through our block games, merge games, and now our core focus, hybrid casual puzzle games. In the early days, we primarily ran CPI campaigns and later saw strong results with retention campaigns as well. As Unity Ads evolved its campaign optimization toward acquiring higher value users, we expanded from D7 ROAS campaigns to D28 ROAS campaigns, achieving excellent performance across both Android and iOS. The AI optimization engine behind Unity Ads, Unity Vector, has delivered outstanding results for Drop the Cat, the title where we're currently investing largest share of our marketing budget. Especially adding D28 ROAS campaigns significantly improved IAP ROAS, which contributed to increasing the game's overall LTV. As we scale on iOS in the global mobile game, we are competing in the global market with live games and new games. We'll keep taking on new challenges with confidence and humility, and Unity Ads will continue to be a valuable partner on that journey. Thank you.
Thanks, Yingho. That's incredible result. Unity Vector is continuing to improve. We rolled out a D28 ROAS that helped you acquire players with better long-term ROI. We are continuing to expand the optimization to custom events, and this will land this fall. And we want to give you even more leverage to maximize performance. Today, our creatives are more than just campaign assets. They are the main drivers for your success, but they are often difficult to scale and test effectively. Today, we are thrilled to introduce something new, an end-to-end AI creative workflow backed by powerful agentic capabilities. This workflow helps you automate asset optimization. Creatives can be generated directly from your game and uploaded to centralized creative library, where Unity Vector will further optimize and deliver content that's tailored to your players. Those creatives will continue to evolve based on performance insights. We believe this will be a major growth driver for you. The first release will come later this year. Here's one more thing I want to announce. We know you face frictions in managing Unity Ads campaigns, and here's how we can help you. We are providing the Unity Ads MCP, which you can use to connect the Unity Ads directly to your AI tools. Imagine simply by asking, show me our campaign with ROAS below target over the last 7 days. Ranked by spend, pause the bottom two, shift their budget to the top performer. With a simple prompt, your budget allocated, audit trail logged, no dashboard open, job done. We are also pushing agentic capabilities in the Unity Ads dashboard. We are launching a conversational agent, Campaign Assistant, later this year. That's a partner who can help with full campaign lifecycle 24/7. From selecting the right campaign types to root cause analysis and actionable recommendations. It built to proactively provide you helpful insights. Instead of pulling reports to understand the spending change of a campaign, with one click, it helps you diagnose the issues and recommend the next steps, all within seconds. In this case, Campaign Assistant tells you the scale drop mainly comes from a mix of two things. A significant country was removed from campaign targeting, and we're also facing creative fatigue on your top-performing ads. So, It recommends to add the country back and test the new creatives. And soon, we will be able to apply the changes with just one click. Those used to take like more than half a day. Now it takes just a single prompt. Up next, we will hear more about our new IAP updates. Let me hand it to Eli. 감사합니다.
As game developers, you build incredible worlds, and you deserve to invest in these experiences without leaving revenue on the table. And now, thanks to changes in App Store policies, walled gardens are opening up, so you're no longer constrained to platform-owned in-app purchases. This is the new world of direct-to-consumer commerce, and it's a massive opportunity. Direct-to-consumer in mobile gaming is already a $17 billion market. That's 15% of the global mobile gaming IAP market, and it's expected to grow substantially. You're able to have a direct relationship to the players who love your game. And with lower fees on every sale, more of your revenue stays yours, fueling real growth. And now, unlocking this growth for your games is easier than ever. We're enabling direct-to-consumer commerce natively inside Unity with a new addition to the in-app purchase SDK. With this update, you can sell directly to your players in two ways. The first is through in-game checkout flows. These allow players to make purchases without leaving the game, using a web payment layer instead of App Store billing. You can also use a web shop. And Unity now offers a no-code web shop builder at no additional cost. You can launch a web shop in hours, not days, directly from the Unity dashboard. Brand the shop to your game and instantly make changes through an AI chatbot. Do you want it dressed up for a seasonal event? Just describe a look you want, and we'll restyle your whole shop on the spot. We're excited to be going live with Stripe and Coda as providers, with Stash coming soon to handle payments, compliance, and fraud detection. And we have more options on the way to give you greater flexibility. We're also bringing a unified commerce management layer. This means you have a shared catalog, so you can manage the items you're selling to players everywhere in one place, across native stores and for direct-to-consumer commerce. Our combined reporting ensures you always know where and how your players are spending. And routing rules give you total control over which regions use native stores, third-party payments, or both. With just one SDK, one catalog, and one dashboard, you can manage your native app store and direct-to-consumer transactions side by side. But the opportunities to grow don't stop at just purchases. Your commerce data can flow into Unity Vector, the AI foundation that powers user acquisition across the Unity ecosystem, where it can help you find more players who love your games. With Vector and Unity IAP, going direct-to-consumer doesn't just help earn more revenue, it also makes your user acquisition growth smarter. Your store doesn't just sell to today's players, it's also helping you find tomorrow's. And the best part, all of this is available today with no extra fees charged by Unity. Just install the latest IAP SDK and start exploring these new features. We've even shipped an AI skill that works in your third-party AI tool of choice to set up your games in a matter of hours. The era of engine-native, direct-to-consumer commerce starts now in our latest IAP SDK. Unity IAP unlocks growth from the players who love your game now and the ones your game hasn't met yet.
All right, so let's take inventory. We've made the engine faster. We've given you new ways to grow your game and your player base. But there's one more shift to show you, and it may be the one that you feel the most. For 20 years, every single thing in a Unity production has flowed through one place, the editor. Every change, every review, every fix through the editor. Today, that evolves. What you're about to see is Unity opening up to your whole team, to the tools that they already use, and to the agents working right alongside them. It starts beyond games, and it ends somewhere entirely different. And we cannot wait for you to see. So everyone, please welcome Sarah Lash.
I am so thrilled to be back here in Seoul. I love being able to connect with customers all over the world. Now, I'd like to step away from the world of games and the engine to look at ways that Unity is helping people in a variety of industries and fields to do their best work. What's so exciting about our industry customers is that they are building tomorrow's essential products today. Historically, that process was constrained by a small pool of specialized creators who relied on limited ways to share work or get contextual feedback from business stakeholders and customers. With Unity's industry solutions, team members across organizations of any vertical can now create and collaborate in immersive 3D environments. We're accelerating the path from pilot to product, and now we're taking that even further. We started the year off by launching Studio, our 3D web-based editor that lets you visually build in 3D without coding complexity. With our latest update, your whole team can now work inside the same 3D scene at the same time in real time. As a leader, I frequently get asked to review documents and projects. And with Studio, I can jump into complex 3D projects and leave feedback easily as a non-developer. We're talking 3D collaboration to the next level, so that business stakeholder feedback isn't the bottleneck anymore. Kung Woo from our local team is going to join me on stage to show how much faster this can be in Studio. Here's a concept our team has been reviewing in Studio. Right away, I can move through the scene and review the experience directly in the browser. No setup required. I can see my team has already been busy. Here's a comment from yesterday's review with the camera pinned right where they left it. That new floor looks great. No screenshots, no email threads, and working together in Studio is just as easy. You share a link. Kung Woo, are you in?
I'm in.
Just like that, same scene, same time. There you are. Kung Woo, can you place that new robot for me?
On it, pulling it straight from our asset library.
And there it is, live in my view. But this is a bigger job than I thought. Kung Woo, can you get more of the team members in here?
Sure, sending the link now.
And here they come. Every name you see is joining is a real teammate editing this one scene with us live. And I can get a front row seat to all of it. I can jump into any team member's view and see exactly what they are seeing. What used to take days of back and forth just happened in front of you in moments. Finally, I can instantly publish and share the updated experience with my stakeholders. That means clearer communication and faster iteration cycles, all directly inside the 3D workflow. Thanks, Kung Woo and team. This is just the beginning. We'll continue to innovate so teams can create, review, and improve interactive 3D experiences together more easily. In fact, we're building deeper workflows, including two-way sync between Studio and the editor. And we're working on AI-assisted tools so teams can move faster from early ideas to production-ready experiences without starting over. So stay tuned. Studio is built on Asset Manager, where all of your 3D assets live in Unity. And we know you need flexibility to choose how your data is stored with private cloud providers. That's why Asset Manager can now be deployed with our self-hosted cloud option. You can connect your Unity organization directly to AWS or Azure, or work with our partners on customized setups. The result is simple. You keep control over your infrastructure, data access, and security model, while still leveraging the full power of Asset Manager. I've also heard you say that too often handling large 3D assets are complex and difficult to scale workflows create blockers. For example, getting siloed CAD files into a live 3D application can take hours of manual work daily to organize, transform, and optimize assets. And large assets require high-end compute that not everybody has access to on the team. Pipeline automation is built on an API compute layer, and it lets you set up workflows automatically. Pull assets straight from your PLMs, get all the formats and transformations you need for better management and collaboration, and deliver the asset directly to your 3D application on any device. And you can even connect your third-party tools for even greater results. You can turn massive industrial 3D data into AI-ready, XR-ready, and enterprise-ready experiences at scale. That could mean engineering reviews on XR devices and HMI concepting, or you could use it for VR technician training, for aircraft and automotive configurators, or to transform factory data, to name a few. Pipeline automation can help unlock the full value of your 3D data across the whole team. And Jason's going to take you on a deep dive to show you just how much power this can unleash.
For the past 20 years, the Unity editor is where a whole generation of games has taken shape. It's where Unity production comes together. But a game, as we all know, is not built in the editor alone. Artists, designers, producers, and even agents can help shape a game, and they all have their own tools and workflows. Which means every change has to come back to the editor before anyone can see or play it. And that process can take hours, if not days. So the next step isn't to bring everyone into the editor. It's to open up the editor to everyone. And that's why we're building an API and a set of services that will open up the Unity production to tools, roles, and the agents around it. So no full editor access will be required. You can preview the real game, automate from the terminal, whatever tool fits the job. So let's see this in action. We're going to invite some folks from the team on stage. So please welcome Kadrin and Belinda. Now, Kadrin is going to be the developer on the team, and Belinda will be our 3D artist today. I'll play as the producer. And today, we're not using any AI for this particular live demonstration. This is a purely teamwork exercise. So, Kadrin, take it away.
Thank you, Jason. So, I'm running a quick playtest of Survival Kids on the Nintendo Switch 2. And I noticed that something's off with my character. Let's zoom in and take a closer look. Ah, yes, the jacket textures are clearly broken. Now, normally, this is where the workflow might get a little messy. I take a screenshot, send a message, and hope everyone knows which file, project, and editor version I'm talking about. But now I can handle it directly in context. All I have to do is open the asset in the editor and tag our artist Belinda and ask her to fix it. And Belinda should be getting a notification from me any moment now.
Thank you, Kadran, and hello, everyone. So while all this was happening, I, the artist, I'm over here on my own device in my own tool doing my thing, and I just received Kadran's link. So the link he just sent carries everything from project to scene to asset to revision. It's all embedded within this link. And when you open it, you'll land on the Unity web dashboard, and you'll be able to see the same exact asset that Kadran was just looking at. Okay, so yep, I can clearly see there's something wrong with the jacket. The texture's off, and I don't know, I must have uploaded a corrupted file, but no problem, because instead of opening up the editor and re-importing the whole project and going through the whole usual flow just to make one little change, I can now simply drag and drop the correct texture into the texture folder over here and replace the old one. So after some time, in a few moments, voila, the correct texture has been applied to the asset, and now I can just make sure it looks good in the 3D preview, and it does look good, but I also want to make sure it looks good in game context. And for that, we have something brand new for you, the scene preview. So the scene preview shows the full character in the full context of the game with the proper lighting, shaders, animation, physics. It's all in here within the browser and without me ever opening the editor. Okay, so now that this is fixed, let me quickly check this in so that the change actually lands inside the studio's version control, because whether it's GitHub, Unity version control, Perforce, it doesn't matter. Unity will soon support most of your favorite source control providers. Okay, no pending changes. Back to you, Jason.
Well, thanks, Belinda. So here's where things get really interesting. We have a new CLI for interfacing with the Unity ecosystem. So I'm going to launch the CLI and run a custom command that's going to validate my asset. And we'll select Belinda's change here, and we'll select the asset, and we'll just give that a moment. All right, there we go. So it's approved. Great work, Belinda. Now, we're going to use another custom CLI command to then generate the content files, and then push those into the cloud, so they'll be ready to be downloaded on target device. We'll select the change, and also the asset again, and we'll just give that a minute to process. And there you go. So that should land on Kadran's side any moment now.
Thank you, Jason. Because we modified this runtime to accept live updates, I got this notification, content update available. Let me go ahead and grab it. Let's take a look. Yeah, this looks much better. And just like that, my character is fixed, without me leaving the game and without going back to the editor. And that's the whole point. Everyone can work together without interrupting each other. Producers, developers, artists, each can access the same production with their own tools. Things that took days now take minutes. And that's how every production pipeline should work. Jason?
All right. Thanks, Belinda and Kadran. So the Unity CLI and Unity MCP server will be made broadly available to everyone, free and without subscription today. So our goal is to ensure the power of Unity authoring is widely accessible. So no matter where developers are working, or which coding agents and environments that they use, we're heading towards a Unity 7 that provides a more connected experience across Unity's products, features, and services. But you don't need to fully wait for a new version, because this workflow already works on Unity 6 and up, and we're going to be giving you a piece of that experience now. And we're excited to announce that some of what you've just seen is available in a closed beta. So you can apply today, and selected teams can get access to the API, the web dashboard, the Unity CLI, web uploads, and deep links. And then all other features are scheduled in a second beta and general availability later this year. So you can visit our website and sign up, be first in line. Okay, and one more thing. If you'd like to play the full game, Survival Kids is out now on Nintendo Switch 2. So up next, Dong-Gung Kim is from SUPERCENT. Will share how this local team builds and ships games at scale. Thank you.
There's never been a more exciting time to work as a game developer than right now. SUPERCENT releases a huge number of games. And to do that, speed is everything. That's why our team has been experimenting with how deeply we can integrate Unity's AI tools into our core pipeline, not as a separate toolset, but as an integral part of it. We've built that framework and conducted numerous experiments with it. Let's take prototyping as an example. Typically, the process starts with a design document, followed by assets and then codes. But our team fed a reference video directly into the AI assistant within the editor. It analyzed the video to define the game mechanics and generated a fully functional prototype. From core logic to matching rules and game flow, all of this came from a single video. With this level of speed in the early stages of development, the scope of what we can accomplish is completely transformed. And once the game is playable, we let Unity's AI tool take over to continue refining it. Our team has established this loop. The game plays automatically, and the in-editor AI assistant analyzes profiler data to identify performance bottlenecks and optimize the code. There is no need for anyone to sit there and watch over the entire process. Manual optimization that used to take hours is now handled automatically. We've already identified the areas where Unity's AI tools save us the most time, and we plan to apply this to our entire game development workflow going forward. This is where we are now, and we are excited to see how far we can go. Thank you.
Everything that you've seen is motivated by our desire to make Unity the best platform to develop, deploy, and grow your games. That commitment drives us every day. And as the world moves faster, faster than ever, so will we, because we've all been there. You had an idea for a game, maybe it was a small idea, maybe it was a whole world that you wanted to bring to life. And the gap between that idea and actually getting it running on a device in the hands of actual players, that gap felt enormous. The tools were powerful, but the learning curve was immense. I know that feeling very personally. I was a Unity customer from the very, very beginning. During a time when just getting your game onto multiple platforms or properly monetizing your idea, that idea felt impossible. Because before Unity, that was simply out of reach for studios just like mine. That's what this company has always been about. The belief that the power to create belongs to everyone with an idea and the determination to build it. What you've seen today is the next chapter in that exact same belief. Everything Jason just showed you, the command line interface, collaboration, and beyond. These are technologies available to you today. This tech was built in close collaboration with you, production verified, in testing with our community, our partners, and all the studios who told us over and over, we don't want to have to open the editor just to make one change. We want to move at the speed of our ideas. We heard you, we built it, and we will continue rapidly innovating and iterating. And speaking of rapidly innovating and iterating, we have even one last new thing to show you right here today. Let's bring out Will Goldstone, who's going to show you something that so many of you have told us that you have wanted for years, live code iteration. Will?
Hello, everyone. As Adam mentioned, for years you've been telling us just how tedious it is to test your latest code changes right on a device. You have to recompile your game, redeploy it to the device, and that takes so much of your valuable development time. Well, what if you could test and feel the code changes that you make in your hand at the speed at which the code is changed? Well, that is exactly what we're so excited to share with you today. Let's take a look.
At Unity, we're always looking for new ways to help you iterate faster. When you're trying to make your game look and feel the way you want, the changes that you make need to feel immediate. In the first release of what you're about to see, you'll be able to change code within methods to help you tune your game as you play it on device. This is a development build on an iPhone, connected to the editor wirelessly as usual. We've added a code watcher, which observes the changes you make and sends them immediately to the device. In this game, I can run around and jump. But what if I want to make a change? Now, ordinarily, this would be done by starting and stopping play mode in the editor or with a lengthy rebuild. But now I can simply use my existing build and make changes to the code directly. Let's jump over to the code. Now, I've tagged this script as having methods that I want to reload. So as soon as I change a value or write a new line, that code is straight away being used on the device. Let's increase the run speed right here, say twice as fast. I'll hit save. Whoa, maybe that's a little too fast. Let's undo that change and hit save again. And now my run speed is back to normal. Now let's make our jump a little more epic. Let's say 3 times the original height. We'll change our jump speed value here to 3 and hit save. And now when I jump, whoa, that's a big jump. And of course, it's not just changing values, I can add code too. So let's give our character a double jump. I'm going to add some code into the script now. I'll hit save, and now my character can double jump. This really does let me try ideas incredibly quickly. Now let's take a look at a slightly different project. This is our endless runner game, and I'm tuning the frequency that pickups appear. Let's jump into the code. We can change the value from 4 down to 1, and as soon as I save, the game updates. We can make them much further apart. And as soon as I save, the game updates. Now we've just shown simple code changes in a single script, but you can of course do more. You could have multiple agents acting on your scripts at once and saving changes whilst you playtest live on the device. This is the kind of immediate iteration we're going to bring to you in Unity this year. We think you're going to love it.
It's pretty exciting stuff. So as we've shown today throughout this presentation, we are working across the entire technology stack that is Unity 7 to bring you iteration speed that's as fast as it can possibly be. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Will. Unity 7. Unity 7 is the full realization of everything we have been building together. Every Unity 6 release to now, from Unity 6.1 all the way through to the Unity 6.7 LTS, which will be, when complete, the final, most complete version of Unity 6. Every capability we've shipped, every system we've modernized, every piece of infrastructure we've opened up, from CoreCLR to Surface Cache GI, to our CLI, to hot reload of code on device, and beyond, it all converges and will be fully realized in Unity 7 in 2027. Unity 7 will be faster, more open, and more powerful than ever before. It's built for the way that we're going to work in the future, not the way that you've all had to work in the past, and to ensure that you are able to upgrade to Unity 7 frictionlessly. We are happy to announce that Unity 7 is a continuation from our Unity 6 release line. All of your workflows, all of your tools, all of your skill sets, your game itself, all of it carries forward with you from Unity 6 to Unity 7. so you can adopt with ease, without fear of breaking changes, with the workflows that you depend on remaining fully supported. The Unity editor, it's our foundation for advanced production, for rendering, for the workflows that demand its full power. But around it and alongside it, there is a new layer forming, one where your whole team can work, where coding agents can work, where a game designer can tweak a parameter on a live mobile build without touching a single line of code, where a new creator, someone who has never made a game in their life, can have a playable idea in just minutes. This is what democratization looks like in the Unity 7 era. For those of you here with us today in Seoul, we can't wait for you to hear the full roadmap in today's roadmap session, built on a decade of feedback from rooms exactly like this one. And stay tuned for our roadmap and other key sessions from Unite Seoul for those of you joining us today online. They'll be coming to Unity's YouTube channel very, very soon. And you can find more information about upcoming betas, samples, and games we've talked about today in Unity's keynotes, YouTube description, and on the Unity blog. We are so thankful to be with you here in Seoul today, and we cannot wait to see what you build next with Unity. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful Unite. 감사합니다. Thank you.